everyone, and welcome back to the Wannabes podcast. You're such a dick. I'm Morgan Holsworth.
Well, I'm Luke.
And that's Luke, if you couldn't hear through the food.
Mm-hmm.
So, today we're going...
With a s'more cookie, it's so good.
I really need to ban Dan.
And I didn't get any of it on my shirt.
He warmed the cookie up.
That's not my problem. You didn't have to take it.
It was really worth it, though.
I bet.
Anyway.
Your shirt liked it too.
Anyway, getting off of food, today we're going to be reviewing the 2020 film of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I thought we were going to talk about s'mores cookies.
No.
Oh.
That's just how I get you here.
Well, I'm out. I'm kidding.
Alright, where would you like to start?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Okay, I'll stop. I just like pissing you off.
You're so rude.
Yeah, actually, I kind of forgot. So I was watching this last night, and because with the quarantine and everything, it's felt a lot longer than what it actually has been.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this came out last year.
No, we went and saw this like Valentine's Day.
I remember,
with Even Fro.
But like, I had to think about it for a second, and I really had to think. How long have I had this? Have I had this Blu-ray? Yeah, no. This is so far my favorite movie of the year, and it's also my surprise movie of the year, because this
Do you like this better than Invisible Man?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the thing about The Invisible Man is, like, I went into it, and I keep fucking talking about The Invisible Man, but I went into it expecting it to be good because of what it is and who made it. This movie was way better than I thought it had any right to be.
You know, I 100% agree with you. I have to be honest, like, because of the initial artwork and that having to go through a redesign and the hate that got, I honestly was like, well, we'll see. You know, I didn't really go in expecting it to be great, but I came out loving it.
Yeah, and you know, what's funny is, like, so you watch it and it's actually really good, and then you have no choice but to sit there and go, could you imagine watching this movie with that old design? Like, this would not have been good.
You know, funny enough, Dan and I were watching it last night, and Dan even, like, mentioned, he's like, oh, that's really funny, because at the beginning, he's like, who's that handsome hedgehog? You know, and Dan's like, I can't help but, like, feel like they put that in there on purpose.
Well, see, and that's what I'm wondering, because on the some of the special features, they show, you know, different scenes and still like pre-visuals, but it's the old design.
Sure.
And it looks fucking terrible. It looks so bad. It's just like, I'm watching it, I'm going, I'm glad these are the pre-visuals, and then, you know, the final product is what we got, because if they were like, no, that totally looks like a cool design, let's just keep that, it would have been awful.
Yeah, that would have been very rough. So, just in case anyone doesn't know, there will be spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, and if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it.
And if you don't know what Sonic the Hedgehog is, then you need a life.
I grew up playing those games.
I mean, who hasn't? Like, if you have grandparents, they should know what Sonic the Hedgehog is. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, in the film, it's about basically Sonic the Hedgehog teams up with the town sheriff, Tom.
In the town of Green Hills.
Yep. To basically find Sonic's lost rings, which are used for teleportation between worlds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because that's how all advanced civilizations transport or travel between worlds.
Yeah, and then...
Because, of course...
And during that time trying to find the rings, they're trying to constantly escape Dr. Robotnik. Eggman.
They call him Eggman? Well, Sonic does.
Yeah. Sonic does.
And he makes all the egg references.
Yep. So, would you want to get... He's looking on my screen, the original artwork for Sonic, which we will put up for you in the video. So, one thing I want to get into is a little bit of the development.
Okay.
Because there's actually an interesting history for this film.
I'm sure there is.
So,
excuse me.
After some research, I found out that development for a Sonic film began back in 1990, but it did not go beyond just the planning stage until Sony Pictures acquired the film.
Okay.
So they acquired those rights back in 2013, and
Sony did.
Yes.
Okay.
So the production with Sony involved collaboration with the Sega Sammy's Japanese studio, Marza Animation Planet, which I believe may have still been part of this original, like this film as well. I think they still had their hands in with it. Marza did.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. But anyway, and they had planned for Jeff Fowler to direct it, which he did direct the 2020 film. So they were planning it to be directed in 2019, but after Sony put the project on a turnaround, Paramount Pictures ended up acquiring the license and all of the rights to the film in 2017. So a majority of the cast was signed on in August of 2018, and principal filming took place between September and October of that year of 2018 in Vancouver and Vancouver Island.
2 months, that's it? To film?
Yeah. Well, think about it. A lot of it was CG.
I mean, yeah, but... Wow, okay. I mean,
But
I know you wouldn't need a location,
They did
but...
move on from there to film a little bit in New York, which is where they actually filmed Jim Carrey's parts.
In New York?
Yeah.
Oh, so New York doubled for Green Hills?
I don't know if they doubled for necessarily Green Hills. I think that was in Vancouver.
Or San Francisco?
Yeah, but I think they utilized that for San Francisco. And then just a lot of his... Because if I remember correctly, I believe Jim Carrey lives in New York. And he had a lot of one-on-one parts with just him and the camera doing what Jim Carrey does.
Yeah, I did notice that too.
So,
a lot of it is literally just him in a green screen. Not that I'm hating, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder why he fucking signed on then. Like, yeah, I'll come out for like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Come out for 2 weeks, do
There's
shit.
a part later in the film where he starts playing like the music.
Yeah.
And everything. He just goes ham with
And he
like
dances. Yeah, love that scene.
Dan and I, same. Dan and I both said it was like, yeah, the director told us like, just do you. Just do what you do here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was definitely, I think, it was nice to see Jim Carrey kind of bounce back because he's been very shut off from Hollywood for quite a while.
Yeah, he in and of himself is a character study. That's another video for sure.
Definitely. So this film was originally meant to release in 2019.
Yes, it was. And I'm glad it didn't.
Yes. Upon releasing the first trailer of the film, it immediately got ridiculed by the fans.
Well, it was weird because I remember I vividly remember watching it for the first time, and like they show the back of Sonic first, and you're looking at it and you're going, all right, because I mean he's got like basically this back, so I mean that looks okay, and they're playing Coolio's Gangster's Paradise over the fucking trailer, and I'm like, well, I don't get the correlation here, but okay, it kind of works, I guess. And then they show his face, and immediately you're just like, no, get it off my screen.
Yeah, it was rough. I definitely feel like they tried to humanize him a bit.
They tried, I don't think humanizing, I just think they tried to do this thing where somebody over at Paramount was like, well, he's a hedgehog.
Yeah, and
make
like,
him look like a hedgehog.
You can see like right here looking at even a little bit like around the nose and everything, how they definitely tried to pull that hedgehog
They tried to make him
look
real, just realistic, and it didn't work. And then, yeah, he has human teeth.
Yeah, the human teeth did not work.
No.
No.
None of it works. I'm looking at it right now. None of it works.
No. It's interesting even looking at the thing, and we'll put, again, this photo up for you guys to see. Look at even like where the spikes are.
Yeah, and look at how fucking expressive he is in the new one.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, watching it last night, I was like, he is super expressive right now.
He's very, no pun intended, animated.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that one?
This one, like, okay, what's nice is, like, with the design and with the animation they did for the new one, they're able to do more with the mouth than a human mouth can do.
And it's still no Disney rubber jaw.
Very true. Very true. So...
But yeah, honestly, because... Like you said, they're kind of bound since they made it realistic, and he looks oddly human. And you're bound to those parameters now,
right?
And you can't, like, it just wouldn't work. I kind of want to watch it just for curiosity's sake,
to see like the difference between.
Yeah,
I would love it. I feel like he would give, in especially some really important parts, really different feel.
Absolutely. But that one right there on the right.
Now, I'm going to be honest, I was looking through photos, and there's a photo of that I saw of the original design where he was like actually lighting up and everything, like the eyes were glowing blue. I'm like, that's probably the best this design's ever gonna look.
Yeah,
because you have other effects with it.
Yeah, when he goes supersonic. And
yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, even
it still wasn't as good as the new redesign.
Way, man.
But it was definitely the best look of the old design.
Yeah, when he's all super powered. I remember seeing that too, and it looked okay. But
yeah, I did read. I don't have the exact quote because I wasn't able to find the article again when I was trying to gather my notes. But I think his name is Yuki Naka, is the creator of Sonic for the film, and he did say, like, there was a tweet that he did that was translated basically saying that he's still not happy with the redesign.
No, because he wants him to have just the one eye. He wants the thing gone in the middle. But I'm going to be completely honest, that's too much.
Yeah, I mean,
I
know that old stuff has it, but
he's got it. Your little guy's got it. That is 100% how it's supposed to be, and I mean he's got it. I mean you can't fucking see it, but he's got it on the video games. Like that's it. But that's fucking great for the movie. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and what's nice is they brought the light fur up more on the bridge of his nose to give the illusion that they had that connected.
Yeah, and he's got a wider face too, so like
it works. It works, and the eyes are so much better, just shape wise.
He's got the gloves.
He has the gloves now too,
which leads to a huge plot hole in the movie, actually.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, it's been a very long time.
You just watched it last night.
What was it?
Spoilers. When he has the bomb on his hand.
Yeah.
Just take the fucking glove off.
Oh, I was thinking that the entire time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm like, just take off your glove.
I think that's got more to do with the redesign, though, because probably in the original cut, look, he doesn't have gloves on.
Yeah.
So that probably was the whole like thing. And they just went, well, we can't fix everything, but he's got the design.
Yeah, it was probably, because they did delay the film by 3 months.
Which is huge. That is the first major win for the internet, which has now led to all this other crap that's going on. But again, that's
like
another
the
video.
Snyder Cut and all that sort of stuff.
I'm happy for that, but yeah, that's a whole other video.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was very interesting to finally see people cave to the fans.
No, the director came out and says that he loves the new design. I feel like that dude, and probably maybe Tim Miller, one of the producers, which I'll get into that later. Like you look at it and you watch them talk. And I feel like those guys probably hated the design, but it was clearly somebody else's call.
Gotcha.
Clearly. And now that the fans got their way, and now they all have a design that they can be proud of because...
They basically have had all of the complaining fans, and they're like, yes, let's go with the fans.
Can you see me doing this?
You can see you leaning over and taking a drink of something.
Yes! As long as you
like
can't.
A weirdo.
As long as you can't tell what it is.
Because I'm the sponsor.
I'll do it on camera if you want me to. I didn't think so.
So
I don't have a cool squeaky mug today.
No. So another couple interesting things that I read while looking at the casting and everything was on May 29th of 2018, it was reported that Paul Rudd was in talks for the lead role of Tom. But later he ended up, like a day later actually, it was announced instead that James Marsden? Yeah, James Marsden was actually cast in an undisclosed role.
That's Cyclops for all of you X-Men fans out there.
Yeah, and he's also in Westworld.
Oh yeah, or Westworld. I forgot about that. I haven't watched it though.
So good.
And that's probably more relevant because X-Men's like going on 20 years old now.
Yeah. But either way, I like James. James is a great actor.
Yeah,
it's exciting to see him coming out in bigger things now.
I think he's more suited for this, just thinking stylistically, because Jim Carrey's already in here being the funny man.
Absolutely.
So you got him doing it. If you would have had Paul Rudd in there too, he's naturally funny as well. I don't know, too many funny guys.
Yeah, and also Tom just has more of that sheriff look.
Well,
than Paul.
And James Marsden already knows how to talk to animals that aren't there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it worked out. I love that picture. Him and the rabbit from Hop, and then him and Sonic. They're like, somebody needs to check on this guy. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, no, it worked. It worked out fine. But that is interesting that Paul Rudd was going to be in it, because that would have been good too. And then especially if they were going to keep the shitty design, I would rather have Paul Rudd in there because the movie would be more entertaining.
Sure. But yeah, then later on, there's like a whole timeline. Like in June, that was when Tika, Tom's wife, was casted. And there's a couple other things. One thing I thought was really interesting was in August of 2018, Ben Schwartz, who plays Sonic,
Yes.
joined as the voice of Sonic.
That took me a little bit to get into, by the way, because I don't watch that much Parks and Rec, but I have seen him and his characters that he plays, and I was like, that guy? Really?
Yeah. So this is what's interesting is Schwartz, a fan of the original video games,
Yes, he is.
was chosen for the role after Fowler and Miller casted him for test readings as they pitched this to several different studios. So he was just kind of like, hey, you're just the stand-in reader for Sonic while we go and pitch around.
Right.
And they are eventually like, shoot, this guy's perfect, let's just cast him.
Yeah. No, I like it because listening to him talk, like he had a really solid approach, and he looked at it like Sonic's a kid and kids are hyper, so he's like
he's young,
he's an
upbeat.
He's an ADHD kid.
Oh yeah.
And that's how he plays, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm in.
Yeah.
It works.
Definitely. So I thought that was really cool. Just seeing the fact like, hey, you're our test reader, because that doesn't happen a lot. You just have the pitching test reader, like script readers.
Yeah.
A lot of times they aren't the actual cast.
Right.
So that was really neat to see. And then another interesting thing, Riff Raff, the music artist, was cast in an undisclosed role, but was later cut from the movie. But he still appears in the soundtrack.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's kind of entertaining too, so that would have been interesting.
That would have been. I would like to have known what he would have been.
Yeah, they probably. I don't know. That might have been super distracting though.
Could have been.
Who knows? Whatever.
So, shall we dive into box office?
Yes, we shall.
All right. So, this released in the United States on the weekend of both Valentine's Day and President's Day.
Yeah, that's right. It was a long weekend.
Yeah, it was an extended weekend for us. So basically, critics praised the performances and Sonic's designs and the faithfulness to the source material. And
I mean, I don't know. Faithfulness to the source material.
That's what I read, and I'm like,
I don't. Excuse me. I don't think so. I mean, these people must not have played a game at all. Because I haven't actually sat down and watched the Smurfs movies from beginning to end. I've seen enough,
right. And
I've heard enough to know that it's pretty much like that plot, and it's just like what they do when they have these types of properties and they need to bring like a different world character into ours. They got some like weird portal and it brings them in, and then they got to get back. So it's pretty cookie cutter, and I get it.
And another thing is they have Sonic lose his like speed abilities for a little while, which like forces the partnership with him and Tom.
He doesn't lose his speed abilities, but it's like
just kind of like delayed for a little bit.
I actually like how they do it, because he goes, yeah, San Francisco's west. Go ahead, straight shot, and then he runs, and he comes back and he goes, yeah, okay, but I don't know where I'm going. So that's the whole reason.
Well, I'm talking about more in the very beginning where he gets trained. So, because like a lot of people did say like, okay, you also see that. I'm so sorry, something is in my eyeball. Ow.
Yeah, it's called an eyeball.
Shut up. Something else other than my eyeball is in my eyeball. Okay.
Are you just emotional about this movie? It's very good.
I want to say that I cried when I watched it originally.
Of course you did. Anyway.
You know what? I don't know if I did. I don't remember if I did or not.
I don't know. I might have. Oops.
I mean, it's me, so I probably did.
Yep.
I did not during the rewatch, though. So, I'm sorry. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, my gosh. So, people did say kind of like, okay, we're over they can't have their power because they do it all the time with superheroes.
Yeah.
Because that way this just works for the plot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't mind it, how they did it in this one.
It's still like a weird origin story.
Sure. Now, critics did, however, criticize the plot.
Yeah.
And it did receive a little bit of backlash from that, because they basically perceived it as a lack of originality, is what the critics said.
It makes sense, but I mean, there isn't too much originality out there anyway,
Sure.
so it makes sense. And then all it is for me is like, can you do it differently enough to stand out? And they did. Thank you, redesign. Because how, like, you know, the movie's it's so good. But if you have that shitty design in there, your movie sucks. And I hate
Absolutely.
it. I hate it saying that. Like, it literally all hinged on that design. Like, Jim Carrey still would have been good, and we would have loved Jim Carrey, but it's a fucking Sonic movie.
As soon as they announced that Jim Carrey was going to be Dr. Robotnik, the Eggman, I was like, yes.
I wasn't, because I didn't get it. And then I started seeing, you know, his look. I didn't get it.
I was just really excited because I've always been a big Jim Carrey fan.
Me
and
too.
He hasn't been in anything in forever.
Me too, but like, I don't know, I just didn't see it.
I saw the potential. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure how they were going to do it, but I saw a possible potential. But my entire time I was like, where's that traditional, like, Eggman look?
Right.
Which we get at the end.
Yes.
The beginnings of it.
Yeah, and then that was the whole thing. It was like, because I know what Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like, Jim Carrey, and I go, well, I don't see it, but then once I watched his performance and he went to like Ace Ventura and The Mask and all that other shit, I was like, alright, no, I like it. I still don't think it's the Eggman that I thought I was going to get, but for this it works perfectly. So
Yeah.
I'm cool. And then seeing him at the end was wonderful.
Yeah, it's like...
But when he comes back, he's just going to play like that character dial up to 1,000. I'm still not going to get the character that I think when I play these games.
Yeah.
But what he's going to do, perfect. I'm fine. It's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit more info for the box office was this film set records for the biggest opening weekend for specifically a video game film. It beat out Detective Pikachu. Which,
Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely.
I mean,
this record is going to stand until Mortal Kombat comes out.
Probably. And, you know, I loved Detective Pikachu. It was a fun, great time. I mean, we went also, it was what we did for my birthday. We all went and saw
That's a good
Detective
birthday.
Pikachu.
Yeah, that's a good birthday.
And then we went into the arcade place.
That's awesome.
You were there.
I can't remember, was I?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Never mind. Did I drink
Jeez.
that night?
Not that much.
Okay. This shit feels like it was so long ago.
I mean, it was, what, a year or two now? I think it was two. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I love this still better than Detective Pikachu.
You know what's funny? Okay, so when they have the bar scene in particular, what do you think of when that scene comes on?
For Dan and I both said it was, how did you not notice that when you first pulled in? Because like he's sitting there and bored, and then it's like, what?
No. I mean when the slow motion stuff happens.
Oh.
But that is funny when he's like, this is the coolest place ever, and he starts freaking out.
Yeah,
oh,
he's
that's
like,
amazing.
keep his cool, keep my cool. Stay calm. Loved it. The slow-mo
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah, but what's the first thing that came to your mind when you saw that? Like, did you think of anything else?
I thought that I enjoyed certain aspects, that some very minimal forms of physics was involved.
Sure.
Very minimal. Also, that Wedgie was horrific. It very much pulled out the young, kind of like the things he did.
Yeah.
Showed how like where he was at maturity-wise.
His childish little fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm usually just laughing pretty good.
That's good.
What about you?
Well, you didn't think of any other movies though?
Not by name.
All right, because whenever that comes on, a lot, my roommate, some other friends that have watched it, they tell me it reminds them of the Quicksilver scene.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't go to that. I go to Deadpool, in the opening of Deadpool. The first one.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
one of the producers of this movie is the director of that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I could see that.
So I'm watching it and I'm like, and it's funny that you brought up Detective Pikachu because I was thinking if they didn't have kind of a public blow up, Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller, the director, that maybe Ryan Reynolds voices Sonic. Maybe. Maybe. That's just because I can see the connection. You know, I can see how that all worked out. And then there's elements in this movie that remind me of Deadpool, and that's one of them. You know, I hear a lot of the Quicksilver scene, but then I'm like, that actually reminds me of the opening of Deadpool.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Quicksilver, but I definitely could see the Deadpool for sure.
So that was
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the numbers.
Please.
So it grossed $306 million worldwide, becoming the second highest grossing film of 2020.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah. So, like we said, this is the highest grossing video game film adaptation of all time in North America.
Yeah.
And
for now.
Yes, for now. It was initially projected to gross 40 to 50 million.
Yeah.
From the 4,130 theaters in its 4-day President Day opening weekend.
Yes.
However, after making 21 million on its first day, including 3 million from just the late night Thursday, opening shows.
Oh yeah.
Estimates were raised to in its first weekend. It raised 64 million.
Okay.
And so it literally just blew it out of the water, and it went to the top of the box office with a 53 million debut over a 3-day weekend, and a 70 million over the 4.
That's what it is. That's what I was looking for. That one.
Yeah.
No, killed it. The fucking redesign will do you good. The only reason why they thought it was gonna perform so badly is because all the backlash that the fucking design got.
Yeah, it's like they projected, 40,
I didn't want to see it.
They projected 40 to 50 million in the standard 3-day weekend for a show.
Yeah.
It then reached, what was it? It reached 58 million. So they were like, oh, maybe it'll reach 64. No bit surpassed that and went to 70.
You know what's really interesting, that I think is really overlooked about this whole design discussion is, spoilers, what did Tails look like?
Beforehand?
Yeah.
I was wondering...
Did Tails have an original design too?
While I was watching it last night, and that scene came up at the end,
yeah.
I thought the exact same thing.
Spoilers, by the way. That's your end credit, your after credit scene.
Yep.
Tails shows up.
Yep.
I really want to drink that, but I'll wait.
But yeah, so it stayed #1 in box office until Invisible Man came out.
Damn straight. My movies are killing it over here. This is awesome. I had a great time before COVID hit. Yeah, I mean, that whole bar sequence is great. All of it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
But the dude's like, we don't like a kind here. He goes, our kind? Hipster. He's like, oh, how dare you.
It was great.
His smirks in that movie get me every time, too. The little Sonic smirks.
Oh, they give me a good chuckle every
wonderful.
time.
Wonderful. When he's about to jump on the drone, he gives him a look. He's like, I got this. It's awesome.
It's so great. And he was able to do that even when, there was even a moment don't worry, I got this, when the truck scene, even though he was super upset with Tom about leaving.
He does that whole thing on accident. He doesn't know he can do that. The spin and taking out the big truck, the tank that gives birth.
Yeah. He knows he can roll up.
Yeah.
He just didn't know he could roll.
Do that, yeah. That's why at the end he finally goes. He fucking goes Super Saiyan. Let me just be honest. He goes Super Saiyan at the end of the movie and beats Dr. Robotnik. I'm telling you, between Captain Marvel, because she totally looks like a Super Saiyan when she powers up at the end of the movie, and now Sonic. If I don't get a fucking Dragon Ball movie soon, a good one, I'm gonna be pissed. Although it's Disney, so actually you can wait Disney.
Does Disney
pump the brakes
on the rights
to Dragon Ball? That's a whole nother thing, but yeah.
I did not know that.
They kind of do.
I did not know that.
No, yeah, because 20th Century Fox had it.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna need a lot more of that. But so I think that might actually be my favorite scene of the movie, the hipster joke.
Really?
Because he gets so offended and he's so expressive. I love it.
It's that entire bar scene is great.
Or them running through the rings, because I like how they go from San Francisco to France, to Egypt and back to Green Hills. I like that too.
Yeah, okay, so one thing about that actually that bothers me
What's up?
was in the credits when you see like the fun little stuff as they're doing like the big
The
names.
8-bit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the rings and we see him go through them.
Yeah.
But the order was France, Wall
Egypt.
of China,
Oh yeah, China and then
Egypt.
Yeah.
In the credits, they were in San Francisco. It went Egypt, China, France, and I was like, why did you do it backwards in the credits?
You were really paying attention to that, weren't you?
Yeah, it really drove me insane that they did it backwards in the credit scene.
I'm gonna be honest.
Well, not the credit scene, but just like.
I don't pay too much attention to that. I mean, a little bit, because last night I was watching, I was like, you know what? I would play that game.
Yeah,
I would play that
100%.
Sonic game, but because I'm not the biggest Wiz Khalifa fan, it kind of takes me out of it
Sure.
a little bit.
Sure.
So I don't pay that much attention.
It just happened to be on the screen, just letting it roll. I was like.
Good eyes. I wonder if it's
Doing
in here, because this whole thing, this is a comic, by the way. It's a comic. It's like a little 8-bit comic of the movie.
Oh, did that come with your version?
Yep.
I need to buy mine yet.
I wonder if that's in there too.
That'd be interesting.
I'll have to look.
Yeah, I don't know. I just happened to catch it in the credits, and it bothered me that it was in the reverse order, except for San Francisco. That was where it was, and then instead of going France, China, Egypt, it went San Francisco, Egypt, China, France, and I'm like, why is it different?
So you said that you had a couple things in this movie that you don't like, and mine are just minor things because, like I said, with the little bomb and it's on his hand, and he doesn't just take his glove off. So what's your favorite scene in this, and then what don't you like?
My favorite scene.
Yeah, peek it.
Ooh.
Of course, I mean I like him going Super Saiyan at the end too, but that's reasons.
I mean, I love every version where he goes supersonic, just because.
Super what?
Isn't it supersonic?
It is. And I'm just
I was gonna say I'm not gonna.
I'm just being a dick.
You're such an ass. Anyway, I love every part where he goes supersonic because just the emotions that are behind every single part of it is perfect. And I mean, I wouldn't expect it from Schwartz, but he pulls it off. Just, voice wise and everything. Like, he did a great job with that.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I love the part where he's a ball in the attic.
Yeah, and that was something I actually wanted to discuss. It was because you mentioned how he's very much played like an ADHD sort of young kind of kid.
Yep.
When you see the two beams, he's like, stay calm, stay calm. He's like, not calm, and he just, boom, he flies out.
Just bursts out.
Yeah, it's
like, shut up, Sonic. Don't you shut up, Sonic.
I don't know if I can choose my favorite scene.
I mean, I said I had one. I actually picked like 5, so. And if we keep doing this, I'm gonna just rattle off more, so.
I would probably pick the last one.
The ending?
The ending. Just because there's a lot of different things in there I liked. I loved, firstly, what is his name? The crazy guy?
Crazy Carl?
Crazy Carl, that's what it was. And everyone kind of realizing, oh crap, Carl was like actually legit.
Yeah, he pulls out that saw and the deputy's like, yeah, just put that,
put that over there. I liked that. Then I love the part where, Tom happens to have the rings and he decides, I'm sneaking up behind him, behind Dr. Robotnik to help Sonic out.
I like that he thought of Mushroom World too.
Yes. I mean, foreshadowing from earlier. Because, like, earlier in this movie, he's like, I'm going to go to the stupid mushroom room, blah, 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 blah. So, Sonic flat out told him, like, I'm not leaving this world, you are. And then directly looked at Tom, kind of like, come on, bro. You know what I'm thinking, let's do it. So.
Oh, shit, that might be.
I also love in that scene, and this is just a stylized shot with also the goggles when he puts down, where Dr. Robotnik puts down his goggles down and you see Sonic charging up in them is just awesome.
Yeah. That's almost as good as Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah.
Good use of goggles and sunglasses. Good on you.
I really, really enjoyed that, and I don't know, just seeing him like full on like pull out, and then everyone there was kind of like, this is normal.
Yeah, no,
it's totally not.
The town just immediately gets behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That was super cute. I'm a sucker for cute, cheesy things like that.
You really are. You really are. You're easy. It's not hard to get you sucked in. So what didn't you like?
So there was 2 things.
Yep.
There's not much you can do with this specific one, but when he pushes them off the roof
Yeah.
and the CG behind them.
Oh, the green screen?
The green screen was a
Yeah.
little rough.
Yeah.
I've seen falling off roof shots before that looked better.
I've seen worse, though.
I have also seen worse.
Yeah.
This is just being nitpicky because
Right.
they're not anything that ruins the movie for me because I love this movie no matter what. It was fun. I loved the pace of the movie. It never felt like it was dragging.
Yeah.
There was, the great emotions that were put in there for, just that push and pull of like, these people are my family, but they don't know it.
Right.
Kind of thing. And I really enjoyed all that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, these are just nitpicky things. There was that, and then when he takes wrapped up in a blanket Sonic to his terrible sister-in-laws, she's really rude. I mean, parts of it make sense because now he's viewed as a terrorist,
Yeah.
but everything else is just she's mean.
Actually, about that, considering how much of a terrorist he's portrayed and the fact that he's still only being chased by one guy, not like the whole military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
There's plot holes aplenty in this movie.
I love the fact that every single person in that boardroom trying to figure this all out hates Dr. Robotnik. They're like, really, that guy? He's a nut job.
Yeah, that very cliched scene.
Yes, very cliche, but I liked the fact that they made everyone not be a fan of him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
I also really like at one point too, and this is obviously delaying what I was about to say.
Okay.
He did when talking to Tom. He's like, who, the whole bully thing. Who punched me, and then I did this, and it's kind of the nice foreshadowing, and it was very subtle the way they put it in, about how he's become the bully through his technology, and I really just liked that subtle way that they put that in there and portrayed it.
No, I hadn't even thought about it like that. Not bad.
Yeah. So. The other thing was, when he comes to his sisters and sister-in-laws,
Mm-hmm.
Sonic's wrapped up. You can tell it at that point. It's just like the rag doll in the blanket, and and even when the blanket gets pulled off by the dog, he's very. I mean, Sonic is very small and slim anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a lot more rubbery in his hands in that point.
Kind of like a noodle.
Yeah, you could. It wasn't. It could have been motion tracked a little bit better, and I think put in better, because as soon as that was off, he was trying to hold him and everything. Sure, he's limp, but at the same time, you could tell it was CG.
Well, if it'll make you feel better, right before that happens, when his sister-in-law opens up the door and she goes, she starts to close it, and he blocks it. He actually blocks the door with Sonic's head.
Yeah.
Just crash. That's like, oh man, that sucks. Sonic's out now.
Yep.
But he gets his shoes there, and he gets a sweet-ass pair of Pumas.
I love that scene, because she was so cute, that little girl.
Yeah.
She was sassy like her mother, but completely against her mother, and I loved it.
Yeah. Her running around saying, gotta go fast, and on your mom.
Yes.
Put my Fitbit on. I need some steps.
I always get a good laugh at that.
Funny story about that, and it goes back to the redesign. Sonic was originally supposed to have Nikes.
Really?
Yeah, it was going to be Nikes, and then they redesigned it, and they gave him some Pumas, and if you watch the original trailer, he's wearing the Nikes, and those shoes actually look kind of shitty, so I'm glad that they decided to go with the Pumas. Those look way better.
I really liked the Pumas. The Pumas looked great.
So good.
It was really cool because...
I want those.
Yeah.
You can't get them.
Same.
But I want them.
They should market them. Please and thank you.
See, the thing is...
they
Puma,
would not be cheap.
No, they would not. And Puma already put out some Sonic shoes for the movie, and those weren't cheap either, and they weren't nearly as cool.
No, those were awesome.
Those are the ones, man. I need those, not the ones I got
and
on my
also,
feet.
they have the actual little, ankle cuffs, if you will, the sock ankle cuffs that, you look there,
Yep.
he actually has them on even that sort of thing, but they were already, obviously she didn't just stuff socks in there for him. They were already, built into the shoe, and it just looked awesome.
That's just another thing that they could strap a bomb to that he won't take off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let that go. Kills me every time.
I would just like to see how long the Pumas hold up.
What I mean,
'Cause we
considering the
see-
raggedy ass shoes he had on, like I think he
Right.
found those though, and those still held
They
together
could have
pretty
been.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those Pumas are sick.
Those Pumas were awesome. So, is there anything else you want to touch on?
Yes, because I really love the scene, and actually I'm changing it. My favorite scene is when he calls him Donut Lord, and he goes, "Why do you keep calling me Donut Lord?"
Ooh,
Because
that's
you
a
talk to
good
donuts and then eat them when they get out of line.
He's like, fair. Like,
Fair point.
fair point. I can't fight that. I really, really liked
Yeah, that's my favorite.
the dynamic between Schwartz and James was great. I really enjoyed what they did.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was for every scene, but I'm pretty sure in here Ben says that he was on set to, give him something to talk to.
See, I was wondering about that, if they had him in maybe any form of mocap or if...
Yes, and a little bit of mocap.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome, because I sadly didn't have the behind the scenes to watch.
Step your game up, scrub.
I mean, I want to buy it.
I come prepared.
When we decided that we were going to film this, I didn't have enough time because of COVID to get it here in time to watch it before.
Yeah,
it probably would have arrived 2 days of filming.
I pre-ordered that before COVID, and it came a couple days late because of COVID, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah. Speaking of COVID, actually,
Oh, God.
because of COVID-19 and the effects it has had on the industry,
Yes, which we have discussed at length.
yes, March 20th of 2020, because of all this, was when Paramount announced that they were releasing it on VOD.
Okay.
So, this was another thing that kind of got hit, but not nearly as bad as all the others.
No, that's totally fine. I
Yeah.
mean, their theater run was probably over anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they were still going to get people coming in and everything, but it wasn't going to be anything.
No, because Onward was
big
out,
money
Trolls
drawing.
was coming out. Like, nah, this thing had its run. It did its thing. You said it made 300 million worldwide.
Yeah, 306.
Maybe it gets to 4. Maybe.
Sure.
But that's it.
Sure.
So yeah, good call.
I mean, they're still making money
yeah.
with people
yeah.
renting it. I mean,
Okay.
what was it?
Shit, they got $35 on me for this.
Yeah, also on, what was it? Yeah, the digital versions were released on March 30th, with the Blu-ray, the 4K Ultra HD, and DVD versions following May 19th. So these have, I actually spent a little bit extra money to rent the 4K Ultra HD because we have a 4K TV in our bedroom.
Ooh.
And I really wanted to
Fancy.
I wanted to see the 4K versus the standard, and it looked great. Like the little details in his eyes, the little bit of the spikes you see, like his actual quills.
See,
Those look really cool in 4K.
You get that in that too. I was paying attention to that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess maybe.
They just because 4K.
I have yet to see
pulled it
anything
out
in
a little
4K,
bit more.
So I don't know. I'll take
It's
your word
really
for it.
different. Seeing things like Brooklyn Nine-Nine in 4K is really weird.
All right. Well, I don't want to
But
see
anyway.
anything in 4K because if it's that good, then that's just more shit that's gonna take my money. So
But
that's how they got me with Blu-ray when it first came out.
yeah, I mean, we watched it in the 4K Ultra HD and it looked great. I mean, obviously standard would still be just as good.
She just wants them to have my money. Fuck, I need a computer monitor first.
They make 4K as
No.
too.
No. Fuck no. Because then I'll need 2.
Alright,
No.
so, I mean, that brings it down to, except for one thing
Okay.
of my notes.
Alright.
So I don't know if there's anything else you want to discuss.
No, I'm good.
Going off of your Donut Lord thing that you mentioned, I loved that it was a thing he called him throughout the entire movie, to even where the fact, what was her name? Maddie. So Tika
Yep.
Sumter, I believe is her last name.
Correct.
So she even asked, like, what's this whole Donut Lord thing? I love, he's like, no, that's just for me and the little guy.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't ask that sooner, because he wakes up and calls her pretzel lady, and she doesn't go, like,
Yeah,
what's
well,
up
she
with that?
makes a face,
Yeah.
but she doesn't, like...
Yeah, she waits till later. That's also a
I would
cool scene.
also would love to see, like, the actual, like, her reaction to the explanation. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching him try to do yoga with her, and he's like, ow, 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 ow.
Strangely born without bones. Yeah, and she has a really good scene, too, where she's like, you notice something cool this whole time, totally chill, everything's up, and then they bump, and she goes, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, Dan and I laugh at that every time.
Yeah, that's good.
I really, really liked her character. Like, she wasn't...
They're all good.
They were great. I mean, even her really sassy,
Yeah.
rude sister, like,
Yeah, they're all
all of
wonderful.
it was great.
Crazy Carl had an extended scene a lot more, but I'm glad
Oh,
that they
really?
trimmed it down. Yeah, it's pretty much so the whole scene. Spoilers, by the way. The whole, they give you that quick scene where he like shows the picture of Sonic, and
then you see Sonic doing all the traps.
Yeah. So it's just an extended that.
I really liked in that specific scene though, where Carl's like, "I know you're real," and or whatever I can't remember.
That's it.
And then Sonic, what did Sonic say? He's
no,
like,
I'm not.
Yeah, I loved that because it's just furthering like the craziness for Carl.
Yeah. Yep. Who and everybody can see is actually real.
Yeah. I mean,
even fucking Saw.
I loved it when later on it came up, where even between Sonic and Tom,
the Blue Devil,
and then later with Maddie and Tom, she was like, oh gosh, like it was really funny to see that carry throughout.
Everybody owes the old man some serious apologies now.
Yes, for sure. Is there anything else?
No, I'm good.
I mean,
no.
We both love this film, and as we've stated before, our episodes are usually shorter when we like it, when we both like the film.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, so it's an 8 out of 10 for me, and the only reason why it isn't a 9 is because there's only, like, a 15-second rendition of Green Hill Zone at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that bums me out about this movie. I love that they have the opening to Sonic Mania at the beginning of the movie, but I wanted Green Hill Zone in there. Like, that, you want to see me cry during a movie, they do that, I'm done.
I would love to see you cry during the movie,
because
I haven't seen it yet.
that would have been it. I would have been done. I would have been bawling my eyes out. Because, oh my god, I can listen to that song all day, any version. I don't care. I love the Green Hill Zone music. And I was like, oh, perfect. I'm going to get like some orchestrated. No, I just got a little piano thing again. I was like, fuck you, movie.
Well.
So I'm excited for the second one. It better be in there for the second one.
I was about to say that maybe that's how they're going to open the second one. On May 28th, they announced that a sequel is official coming.
Of course.
And I mean, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
We had our whole ending. Then we see Robotnik turning into Eggman in the Mushroom World.
Yeah.
Then we had our credits, and then after the credits, we finally saw like really attractive pull out, like nice drone shot from Green Hills and everything, back to reveal another ring appearing, and we get to see Tails.
Yep.
So hopefully.
Yeah. So they clearly want to be a franchise.
There's obviously going to be a sequel because we just got to see Tails.
Yeah, and there better fucking be a sequel because I'll be mad if there isn't because Jim Carrey I think has already said that he wants to come back or is coming back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think the majority of the cast is probably gonna come back.
Yeah, they totally have something here, and I'm already of the theory since we didn't get Chaos Emeralds yet is that's how Jim Carrey comes back. He finds a Chaos Emerald on Mushroom World.
I did not.
If you don't know what a Chaos Emerald is, do your fucking homework.
He still has the quill, which is no longer decharged. It was shiny again.
Yeah, but he's charging it because he's got it in the thing. It looks,
yeah.
Yep.
So, one thing I forgot to mention was that this was Jim Carrey's second biggest opening.
Biggest?
This was Jim Carrey's second biggest opening weekend.
Is The Mask the first one?
No. 2003, Bruce Almighty.
No shit.
That was his number one opening weekend.
Wow.
This was number 2, and I love Jim Carrey in this. But I was always a huge Ace Ventura and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, no.
But.
Shit. Vintage.
But.
I love saying vintage like he's old. I mean, he's not old.
But it still feels like a throwback.
It absolutely is, but that's just because, I mean, I love Jim Carrey too, but the last few things that he's done have really been kind of garbage.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched Kidding, the show. I think that's good.
I haven't watched that.
I think I've heard good things. I need to check it out, but, it's just, he went through a thing. I get it.
Yeah.
Totally understand.
But the movie is still just in the development stage, though there hasn't been any official decisions regarding cast or like when the production start date is or when the actual release date is, I believe. However, I do think, and I have a theory that it's going to be coming out in December. of sometime in the near year or two.
2022.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna come out in December because when Eggman is in the Mushroom World, he says, "I'll be back by December."
Oh yeah, I'll be back by Christmas.
Yeah. So I feel like that.
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance. Gosh darn it.
I think.
Come on, Agent Stone.
I think we would have more info about it now. You know, everything didn't go to shit.
I agree. I
So-
100% agree with that.
So I'm thinking
And
2022, for sure.
I'm thinking it's either going to be 21 or 22 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I wonder, and I have the theory that it might come out in December because of what he said.
And I'm telling you, if there aren't any fucking, if the Chaos Emeralds don't play a major role in the next one, I will be upset. I will be. Because
Yeah.
I just, the way that it's set up, I feel like, I mean, my theory is, like I said, he's in the Mushroom World, he finds one, and that's why Tails shows up looking for Sonic. Because he's finding the fucking Chaos Emeralds.
Now,
Boom, I just fucking came up with your story for you.
so, I mean
Oops.
that...
Too late.
Oh my gosh. Is there
Demonetized.
anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Nope, 8 out of 10 should be a 9, but I didn't get Green Hill Zone.
I'm actually rated like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you throw Green Hill Zone in there,
There
it's a
was
9 out of 10, possibly a 10, and you get me to cry.
There's a couple plot holes. There was some...
It's a fucking kids movie with Sonic.
But-
There's also poop jokes in there too, so like, what are you
There
gonna
is
do?
poop jokes.
And a hell of a lot of product placement.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's all good though.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please go watch Sonic if you haven't already. And, I mean, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Podcast Wana. Sorry, I'm like, wait, what was our last one?
Yes, follow us on all the socials. And if you do check out our YouTube page, please like and subscribe, please.
Yeah, please
Pretty
show
close.
as much support as you can, and let us know in the comments below if there's any future films you would like us to review, or even need past ones.
Did you say we're on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. We are also individually. I am on Twitter and Instagram at LukeW306.
And I'm on both of those at MorganH_films.
And one more quick thing, real quick. Mike, if you watch this and you got something snarky to say, I just want you to know that your daughter needs to like this movie more than Frozen 2. And if you don't like it, don't let your daughter listen to this part, but fuck you. Love you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget the popcorn.
God.